Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our cooking show today. All right, so I'm Olivia here. I'm a user for more than 8 years now. And today I'd like to show you the wonders of Thermomix. So if it's your first time today, can you kindly type in the chat number 1 so that we know it's your first time? And if you're a happy user, please type number 2 so that we know that you are a user, okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and our member of staff, our advisor, will be responding to you in the chat as well. So what is important to you when cooking? Okay, so for some of you, it might be money saving, and very important is also time saving, right? Because time is so precious, and we want to spend more time with our loved ones. So of course, healthy eating. And also cooking creatively, because sometimes we run out of ideas on what to cook. So today, here at the Thermomix, I will be able to share with you all the important benefits of cooking with Thermomix. So Thermomix has been around for over many years, okay, since the 1960s. Okay, so our company Vorwerk has been established for 135 years in history. And Thermomix is sold in more than 80 countries worldwide. We have won a lot of awards. It's also endorsed by Michelin star chefs. And also we have more than 20 over world patents as well. Okay, and it's German quality, and also world-class quality products. And it's your personal kitchen since the 1960s. So the first Thermomix was actually a blender, okay? And as time has evolved, we needed a lot of different functions. So as you can see here, today what you see is the 9th generation of the Thermomix, which is the TM6, okay? And did you know that in every 23 seconds, one Thermomix is sold around the world? Because it is so popular, it is such an amazing tool that everyone wants to see this Thermomix live in action, okay? And it's a world's best seller, and it's an all-in-one super kitchen machine. And there are more than 12 million users worldwide, okay? So today I'd like to show you the full set of the Thermomix. So here is the Varoma, all right? So Varoma, this looks, probably some of you might think it looks like a UFO, okay? It's shaped like a UFO. So this UFO is actually a Varoma steaming tray, so you can actually steam 2 dishes at the same time, okay? And the next accessory is called the simming basket. So the simming basket here, you can actually use it for cooking rice. So this can cook up to 3 cups of rice. So if you want to cook larger portions, like for example, you want to cook up to 500 grams of rice, you can cook directly in the mixing bowl using the rice cooker mode, okay? So what are the benefits of cooking rice with this simming basket? Because it can actually help to reduce the starch, okay? Especially those who are diabetic or those who wants to consume low GI rice. So this is one of the best ways to cook rice using the simming basket, okay? And other than that, you can also use to steam smaller portion of fruits and vegetables. For example, if you want to make baby food, okay, so you can actually place small amounts of fruits and vegetables to actually steam it inside the steaming basket. Okay, so for larger amount, you can steam in the Varoma tray. All right. So it comes with a 2.2 liter mixing bowl. It's stainless steel, and we also it also includes a mixing knife, which is the blade. Okay, so it's also stainless steel as well, and it's made of a world-class knife maker called Solingen. Okay, and it is easily removable. Right, so if you want to wash, it is easily removable. Okay, and it is a 2.2 liters okay, capacity. Just see. And the next accessory we have is called the butterfly. So for those of you who love baking, okay, who likes to bake? All right, please let us know in the chat if you like to bake. And who likes to eat kaya? Okay, so this is one of our favorite jams, right? A coconut jam kaya. So when you get your Thermomix, the first thing you need to try out is our homemade kaya, okay? Because It's delicious and nothing beats homemade because there's no artificial preservatives and whatsoever. So how to use this butterfly? You can also use it for whipping cream, making jams, and eating egg whites and things like that. Okay, so you actually place it right on top of the mixing knife, just like that. Okay. And the following accessory is our mixing lid here. And this is a spatula. So you will see us using throughout the cooking show. This is very useful. For example, if you've steamed something and it's hot, so it comes with a hook here, all right? So you actually, for example, you've cooked rice or you've steamed something and it's hot, do not use your hands to hold the simmering basket. You would use this spatula to lift it out of the mixing bowl, all right? So it's easy for you to handle the simmering basket. And for example, if some recipes require you to mix, like say when you make ice cream, you can actually place this spatula right inside here to stir. Okay, so do not use other spatulas while cooking because you know, this is specially designed. It has a plate here so that it does not touch the mixing knife. Okay, so for safety purpose, please only use Thermomix accessories, all right? And the next accessory we have here is called the MC cup. Okay, it's a measuring cup. So there's a 50 ml and a 100 ml marker here. So it's convenient for you if you're measuring liquids like milk, for example. You can actually use this to measure, right? And last but not least is our splash guard. Okay, so with Thermomix, there's low temperature cooking and also high temperature cooking. So while you're cooking at high temperatures, we do not want oil splattering. Even at low temperature cooking, there's no oil splattering. But when you cook at high temperature, imagine like you're sauteing, perhaps you're browning your meat, you know, you're caramelizing onions. Okay, so we do not want to, you know, have any splatter on our tabletop. So this is specially designed to do the job. Okay, so basically you just place it right on top of the mixing bowl lid, and this actually prevents oil from splattering. And the holes here actually, because while you're cooking, okay, normally we will use the MC cup to cover, okay? But for high temperature recipes and sugar stages recipes, the recipe calls for this, okay? So basically this hole here will actually allow steam to escape, right? Okay. So now, very important is the motor, which is the heart of the machine. So this has a German motor, which is frictionless and there's no heat generated. So therefore, there's no cooling fan needed to cool down the motor. And this powerful motor actually blends at a very, very fast speed at 10,700 RPM. Okay, so imagine, you know, we can even crush sugar, like rock sugar, the hard sugar, into fine powder. Okay, so how powerful is that? And also it has a 6.8-inch touchscreen, as you can see here, even larger than our phones. Okay, so very simple to use, only 3 circles. The first circle is the time, second is the temperature, and third is the speed. Okay, so for example, if you have young children, like I remember I was cooking with my daughter when she was 4, so they can also handle it. Of course, you have to assist them because it is so easy. It's just numbers. If you can read 1 to 5, you're able to use the Thermomix. Okay, and it's suitable for everyone. So even if you're elderly and all, it's also suitable as well. Okay, so how do you own this super kitchen machine? Very simple. Okay, there are 3 options for you. Okay, so first option is full-time payment at 6,988, or you can also opt for the financing option, which is 0% interest free for up to 24 months. Or you can come and join our team and earn your Thermomix for free. Okay, so we have 3 very flexible options for you to own your Thermomix. Okay, so next is one Thermomix does everything. Okay, so it replaces over 20 kitchen appliances in your home. Okay, so imagine today if we have so many appliances in the kitchen on the countertop, you actually need a lot of space, okay? So let me share with you what are the appliances that it can replace, okay? So it replaces your blender, it chops for you, it grinds, okay? So it even replaces your kettle, okay, at home, right? And it has a sous vide function, which we will explain to you later on what sous vide is. Okay, it steams, it cooks, it whips, it minces your meat in like 2 seconds. Okay, it slow cooks for you, right? Emulsify, mix, heat, ferments, pre-clean. Okay, so after cooking, what we really dislike most is the cleaning part. Okay, so now this has solved the problem for you because it has a pre-clean mode that does wonders. Okay, so I really like this pre-clean mode because after cooking, it really cleans thoroughly. Okay, so perhaps we can show it to you later on how it can clean for you. So stirring. Okay, so normally when you cook over the stove, you have to be physically stirring. So now the German helper helps you to do that. So built-in weighing scale. Okay, for bakers. Okay, as a kneading mode, so it can knead doughs for you. You can knead, breads and stuff, etc. High temperature mode. Okay, you can heat up at high temperature to brown your meat and etc. And sugar stages mode. Okay, like example, make lollipops for the kids, so you can do all that here. All right. So yeah, and my Thermomix is used daily, and I use it for at least 2 to 3 times a day because morning, I can make smoothies, I can do a quick steam buns, I can actually make like drinks, juices. Okay, I can whip up something. I can even do poached eggs for breakfast, sauteed mushrooms. And then lunch, I can do a simple stir fry, noodles, and you can even cook a one-pot rice dish, which I'm going to share with you shortly. And tea time, if you like cakes and all, it's really fast. You should try our moist banana cake, which you will love it. Okay, and dinner, you can also do multi-layer cooking. Okay, because it is so fast, you can actually do 3 to 4 dishes all at the same time in just half an hour. Okay, so yep, you can do all that, and it's your perfect kitchen. Whether you're single, okay, you can cook as little as for 1 person. And if you have a family, you just moved into a new place, don't bother buying all the kitchen appliances because you will need a lot of space, okay? And for example, if you have a bread maker, okay, if you don't make bread every day, it's going to be chucked aside, all right? Perhaps in the storeroom, right? And if you don't make ice cream, okay, it's going to be in the cupboard as well, okay? So don't bother buying so many things because if you have so many kitchen appliances, it is actually costly, okay? But now you spend almost 7,000 ringgit. You have 1 unit right at your countertop. You do not need to place it in the cupboard, and it gets used all the time because it is versatile. It's multifunctional. So that's why you do not need to have so many appliances at home. Okay, and for children, it's good that you bond with your kids. Cooking is actually a life skill, and it's good that you have a Thermomix that you can cook with your kids together, make their favorite ice cream. You can do some baking together, and it's really fun. I love cooking with my daughter. And yeah, and you're not worried that, when you get kids involved cooking with Thermomix, you're not worried because it is safe, unlike turning on the gas, it might burn your hands, so it's good. It's a good tool for the kids to play around with. And of course, as elderly, when we grow older, there are a lot of diet restrictions, perhaps gluten intolerance, or maybe certain special diets. So when you cook at home, you can control the ingredients of what you eat, okay, unlike eating out. Okay, so this is suitable for elderly as well. And me, myself, I do have some elderly customers who have never cooked, okay, and they bought this and they, they started cooking, and they have really fun adventures that they share with me and recipes that, they never think that they can actually cook, but with the Thermomix, everyone can cook, okay? So next, I'd like to share with you the recipe, which I'll be sharing with you today. It's called the pumpkin rice, okay? Just get the ingredients here. So this was, okay, just give me a moment. So today, I'd like to share with you this pumpkin rice recipe because it is really fast, and especially when you do not have much time. Ingredients are very simple to prepare, and you can actually prepare ahead of time, and when you're back from work, you can actually pop everything in and cook, and it takes about 30 minutes. So while it's cooking, you can actually go take a shower and your meal is ready, okay? And this can feed about 5 people, okay? The portion is good for 5 people, okay? So I'd like to introduce some of the ingredients. So I have here yellow onions, shallots, and garlic, all right, which is peeled and cut. The onions is cut into wedges. I have some dried scallops, which I have shredded, okay? Some cooking oil here. Okay, I have pumpkin cut into cubes. I have some basmati rice here. Okay, some chicken, which is cubed as well. I have some light soy sauce, salt and pepper, okay, water, and some spring onion for garnishing. Okay, so very simple. Okay, and the reason why I choose this recipe because pumpkin is the key ingredient, and pumpkin is really good, especially for elderly as well, even children, because of the vitamin A, very good for the eyes, and beta carotene. So this is a very healthy and simple recipe to prepare. Okay, so first I will place the raw ingredients, which is the yellow onion, the shallots, and the garlic to chop. Okay, so I'm going to chop it at 6, 7. Okay, so next. So it has chopped the raw ingredients really fine. Okay, so the speed control, you can actually adjust whether you want it fine, you want it coarse. So the higher the speed, the finer it will chop. Okay, straight down. Next, I'm going to add the shredded scallops to saute, and the cooking oil. So I'm actually using very little oil. It's only about 20 grams, which is less than 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to saute this for about 3 minutes. At 120 degrees. So 120 is the temperature which we do use for general cooking, and at speed number 1. Okay. So while it's sauteing, okay, what type of oil do you use when you cook? Okay, can you type in the chat so that we know what type of oil you use? For some of you, perhaps you might use olive oil, maybe grapeseed oil, vegetable oil. So let us know what type of oil you use when you cook. Okay, so for those of you who use olive oil, okay, why do you use olive oil? Because we know that olive oil is healthy. Okay, it helps with lowering cholesterol. It's one of the healthiest oils to cook with. But do you know that if you cook with olive oil, especially because it's a low smoking point, the oil is for low smoking point, and if you cook at high temperature, it is actually toxic and it's carcinogenic. It should actually burn the oil, and it's actually toxic. Okay, so when we cook with Thermomix, we can be safe, and we know that because it's cooking at only low temperature, we can actually preserve the nutrients of the oil. So actually many types of oil it's not at high smoking point. Okay, so make sure you check the label or you read about it, because when you overheat the oil, it is actually toxic. Okay, so just a safety measure for our dear customers. Okay, and as you can see, normally what I'll be doing over the stove, I will actually be sauteing, right? Okay, but now my German helper is the one sauteing the ingredients for me. And I'm actually cooking in white kitchen without a kitchen hood. Okay, so there's no oil splattering, my tabletop is clean. And on top of that, I do not need to even clean the kitchen after cooking, okay? And there's no oil. And you know, I'm wearing a white t-shirt, there's no spatters on me. So when you cook your curries and all, you can actually blend all the ingredients in here, like what I did just now, the spices, the raw ingredients, add in the oil, and it can saute for you. Okay, so imagine cooking curries without splattering everywhere. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you might be giggling and smiling, because you can never imagine cooking curry without any curry stains on the table or at the stove top, or even like, you know, surrounding your kitchen and the hood. You know, it gets oily, and the most important thing that after cooking curry, we smell like curry as well. Okay, so while you cook with the Thermomix, you can actually walk away and do other things. You do not need to be physically standing here and then you know, in a hot toilet kitchen. So this is what I really love about cooking with Thermomix. Okay, I don't need to be spending so much time in the kitchen. I can be doing other things. I can be multitasking. I can be, you know, with my daughter. Okay, so now it's done while it's sauteing. Okay. Just wait down and just show you. Right, so I sauteed the raw ingredients already. And the next step is to add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so first I will add the rice. So this is basmati rice. You can also cook with brown rice. You can also cook with white rice. Okay, so for me, personal preference, I like to cook with basmati, because kids, they do not like the color of brown rice. So basmati will be a healthier option because it's low in GI, right? So I like to consume basmati rice at home. Okay. And next is to add in the chicken. So you can put in other types of meat if you wish, but I prefer to put in chicken cubes. So it's yeah, it's very versatile. Okay, so you can even add other ingredients. You can add in like your dried shrimps. Okay, if you like to enhance the flavor, you can even add chicken stock powder. Okay, so here I have here pumpkin cube as well. And then I have seasoning. I have light soy sauce here and sesame oil. And next, water. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat. And last but not least is the seasoning, the salt and pepper. Right, so very simple. And next, I will go to the rice cooker mode. Okay. And this is the automated mode. So what I need to do is go to the rice cooker mode, okay? And next is just turn the knob, turn the speed selector, and it will automatically set at about 30 minutes, around 30 minutes, okay? And then after 30 minutes, all I need to do is garnish, okay, with spring onion. But before garnishing, you need to let the rice set inside for about 10 minutes before serving. Okay, so make sure you use the rice cooker mode. Do not immediately open the lid after the rice is done. Let it stand inside the mixing bowl for about 10 minutes. And then after that, dish out and then place the spring onion. Then you can also have some fried shallots or garlic on top. Okay, so I'll see you shortly. See you.
Hi. All right. Good morning. All right. So, this is cooking with Thermomix. It looks really, really simple and easy, right? And seriously, when you get your hands on Thermomix, you're able to do it as well. So Olivia demonstrated a main course, which is a rice dish, okay, a complete rice dish meal. I am following now, going on to prepare a dessert and a morning breakfast drink, which is a hot chocolate, right? So very often we have hot chocolate outside. It's really tasty. And how do we do that at home, right? So let me share with you how it is done. So first thing we need is about this is chocolate chips. So you can buy the bar as well, and you can chop it into Thermomix if it's a bigger sizes. But mine is in the chip form, so I can also chop it as well. So what I do is I need about 300 grams. So what do we do? Traditionally, we would take out a weighing scale. But today, because we have our Thermomix, which has 20-over functions, we can always turn on the weighing scale function. So these are the functions, the 20-over functions that we're talking about. By scrolling the screen from the main screen to your left, to my left, you're able to see, oh, wow, there's so many functions that has appeared. So then let's look for the weighing scale. At the moment we turn on the weighing scale, it zeroes it for you. And now it is the time for you to put in your ingredients. Right? So I'm weighing directly about 300 grams of chocolate chips. Okay. And now I am going to chop it first. Okay. So if you happen to have it in big bars, you can actually break it down into like big bar size, like maybe 2 inches size. Place it in about 300 grams. And then now we're going to look for the super powerful speed that Olivia shared with you. What was the speed? The turbo speed. Yeah? Turbo speed that goes up to 10,700 RPM. So let's look for the turbo. And could you see that immediately when I engage the turbo, the handle locks the lid. Like this is one of the important safety functions that is built in together with the Thermomix. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it to, it is at 1 second, set it at 1 second, touch the turbo, and ready everyone, I'm going to turn on the turbo now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, let's go. And then I can actually share with you now, show you how it looks inside. Just the one turbo, 1 second. Okay. So now you can see that, okay, there's some that are chopped up, but there are some that are not. Okay. So what you can do is, it depends on how fine you want your food to be. You can repeat up to the texture that you like. So for example, if you're chopping peanuts for your rojak, you want it coarse, you don't want it to be over fine, right? You can control the texture of your kacang, okay? So you do not over process it, and then you can't reverse the process, okay? So that's the purpose of the turbo. It gives you precision blending. Okay, so now it's not fine enough. I know I want it finer. I'll go and turn on the turbo again. Right. So you can always peek inside and see. Okay, so now it looks fine enough. Let me show you what happens. This is just the next 2 seconds. Okay, can everyone see that? So this is what we call precision blending. So with this also, you can make your salads, for example, like a coleslaw. What are the other things that you can do? You can also blend your meat. You can decide to grind your meat fine, or you want it coarse, like for bologna, you want the texture when you bite into the meat, so you want it coarse, okay? So you can also do that as well. So let me now, we're gonna melt the chocolate. We're gonna turn on the time. I'm going to set it to 3 minutes. Temperature, now this is the very important thing for melting chocolate. Okay, I'm going to set it to 50 degrees and turn on the speed sheet. All right. As it's cooking for us, has anyone melted chocolate before at home? For example, for your cakes or for your cookies. Have you done that? You know that you know, the moment you melt chocolate, this is a very sensitive ingredient. If you expose your chocolate to high heat, what will happen? It will be overcooked and then it will become lumpy, right? And then you will see oil separated from the chocolate sauce. And it's not pretty, and you will feel that wow, a lot of my ingredients gone to waste. And you can't reverse the process. In order to do it again, you've got to take a whole new set of chocolate ingredients and do it again. So what do you do with the one that is already messed up? Then you can't do anything. You have to probably throw it away. Now the trick about melting chocolate is to keep it at 50 to 55 degrees. Okay, so traditionally how people does it is they use the bain-marie method, which is a double bath method. Meaning a pot of water, putting on the stove to boil, and another bowl on top of the hot water with the chocolate inside, and stirring it and melting it gently as you move on. So it takes time, okay, and it takes extra effort. And by doing that, to keep the sauce smooth and lumpy, you have to be there continuously stirring for the next like 5 to 10 minutes. Right now, with this 300 grams of chocolate chip, I can just do it immediately with my Thermomix because I have the exact temperature for bain-marie method, which is 50 degrees. Okay, and the best part is as it is melting, it is also stirring for me. And it's going to be giving me a smooth result chocolate sauce. Right, so today we're melting chocolate at 50 degrees. Now the next day, for example, you want to make kaya, you want to make really smooth kaya. What do? You use a double boiling temperature for kaya, which is a low temperature. We recommend you to use 90 degrees. Can you imagine cooking kaya this way? Putting your eggs, your sugar, and your santan in, and not having to worry about the temperature. And as it's cooking, it stirs for you. It's still creating wonderful kaya gem. You know, 45 minutes to 1 hour of cooking kaya traditionally on the stove now. You could free yourself 45 minutes. It's a long time, right? Doing other things at home, your household chores, or attend to your loved ones, your children, or your homework, or even having a laptop beside the Thermomix while it's cooking kaya for you, you can actually work on your work. Okay, so see, as I'm chatting with you, it is the 3 minutes is up, and I want to show you how it is inside. So I need to repeat it again, and it calls me when it's done. Okay, so this is how it is melted. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape it down, and then I'm gonna repeat again. Okay. That's my spatula. Just give me a minute to get my spatula. All right. So now all we need to do is to scrape it down. This is very thick chocolate because I'm using dark chocolate. Okay. Move it down and then repeat the process. So this time we're going to go for 4 minutes. Let's set it to 4 minutes. Temperature at 50, which is the desirable temperature for melting chocolate. And speed now and go up a little bit higher to speed 4. So other sauces that you can do with this technique is probably like heat-sensitive sauces like carbonara sauce, hollandaise sauce, because those require eggs inside. As you cream the sauce, you know, chefs used to do this. They cannot overcook the egg. The moment you overcook your egg, it will become lumpy. So the temperature to retain to smooth eggs into sauces is 80 degrees Celsius. But if you are like a new chef like us, we are new in cooking. How do you determine that? At the moment you put the pan on the stove and as you're stirring the sauce, you got to measure or you got to use your eyes and experience to observe. When it starts to bubble, you got to quickly move it off the stove and continue to stir. And sometimes, you know, we may move it a little bit too late, and the sauce will have already overheated, and the egg starts to get lumpy, right? So when we go to restaurants, like, you know, in the weekend, sometimes cafe, it's like, wow, the hollandaise sauce is so great. How did they do that? How did they create such nice lumpy sauces? It is with the perfect temperature at 80 degrees. Okay, and then on top of that, you know, now you can also make a ganache with the chocolate. You know, lots of other cream sauce recipes with the chocolate. Creating jams, for example, making your nut butter as well. You know, all that can be churned out immediately and easily with your Thermomix. And the best part is you can control the ingredients that you use. Know how much sugar you want. If you give, you know, put in the best ingredients that you have for your entire family. Okay. So as I'm cooking here, I'm going to pass the screen to the next person, and I'm going to show you later on. I'm going to pass it to the next person, which is Sunita. She's going to teach you how to cook a wonderful chicken dish. All right, so I'm going to hand off the screen to Sunita.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so today I'm actually cooking a recipe from Cookie Dough. And Cookie Dough is actually our recipe platform, which currently has about 68,000 recipes. So you'll never run out of recipes to cook, okay? So this recipe from Cookie Dough is actually from one that is in Chinese, all right? So obviously I'm not Chinese and I can't read or write Chinese. So I'm still able to cook a recipe from Cookie Dough, which is amazing because all I have to do is actually pull up the recipe on my handphone or my iPad or my laptop. And I use Google Chrome for this, the browser. So it will automatically translate the recipe into English, all right? So I can actually say cook today, but I would still need to like refer to my phone or my iPad. So I actually have my iPad up with the translated version on it, okay? So we'll just go to start cooking, right? And it says, it actually says place a bowl on the mixing bowl lid, add the chicken, soy sauce, the 600 grams of chicken, the soy sauce, the light sauce, dark sauce, oyster sauce, and sugar. So my chicken has already been pre-marinated this morning, okay? So we just go next, okay? And then we're going to put the garlic cloves. So all this has been measured in. And then we're going to put in the garlic cloves. So that. And then next, we're going to put the lid on. And because it's a cookie dough recipe, it's already preset. Okay, so it's preset to 5 seconds. And it says turn speed selected to speed 5. So I just have to turn the speed to speed 5. And it's going to chop. Right? And when it's done, you get this beautiful sound. So even if you're anywhere else in your house, you'll actually know. You just go next. And even if you look at the icon, it tells you to scrape everything down. So I'm just going to scrape everything down. And then next, add the sliced ginger, the dried chilies. Okay, so the recipe calls like a whole bunch of dried chilies, but these dried chilies I have are like super hot, so I'm only going to do like 5 of them. And the sesame oil. Okay, so I've already pre-measured everything because I'm doing the demo today. So otherwise, you can just weigh it directly into your Thermomix. Okay, so that's the, instead of 15 and then the 30 grams of sesame oil, put the lid back on. And next, so this is now going to saute for 3 minutes at 120 degrees, speed 1. Okay, so the Thermomix has perfect temperature control, right? So 120 degrees is the temperature you would always use if you are going to saute something, all right? So any recipe, even once you're familiar with it and not using a cookie dough recipe, you can actually saute your spices, your onions, garlic, etc., using 120 degrees. So whenever I cook all my Indian dishes, all my curries or whatever, and I need to saute my spices and my onions and curry leaves, I use 120 degrees and just saute it for about 5 to 6 minutes, okay? And it gets really well done, okay? So 120 degrees is also really great because it will not burn your ingredients and it doesn't overheat the oil, as Olivia mentioned, right? So you have the perfect temperature for sauteing. But the TM6 is cool because it also has the other extreme, which is the 160-degree high temperature mode, which you can brown your meats, etc. Or if you're doing your kung pao chicken, it will actually go into high temp and do your kung pao chicken for you. Or caramelization at 170 degrees, where you can make caramel for your popcorn, you can make gummy bears for your children, you can make lollipops at home. So for those of you with young children, you can also have them help you pour out your gummy bear into the molds, etc., and let them enjoy it. So homemade gummy bears are really, really delicious because it's all natural ingredients. We use natural fruit juices to make them. So they're really, really fun to make. So because Thermomix has perfect temperature control, as Quinting mentioned, just now, even for melting chocolate, I love making cakes at home and I use 50 degrees for the ganache to melt the chocolate, and you get perfectly melted chocolate every single time. Okay,
Sunita,
yes.
could I have the screen back to show them the result
Sure.
of the melted chocolate?
Sure.
Yeah. So here, after the first round of 3 minutes and second round of 4 minutes, this is the final result. I hope you all can hear me clearer now. Can you all hear me clearer?
Yes, much clearer.
All right. Because I think the Thermomix was spinning and melting the chocolate chips. So there's like overpower my voice. So this is how lovely the sauce turns out. You see, it is really lumpy and so smooth. All right. So what I'm going to do next is we are going to pour out the sauces into a bowl, whereby you're going to work with your dipping of your fruits. So let's get a bowl here, and we're going to pour out the chocolate. Okay. You can see like the stream of smooth chocolate flowing out. So we will pour out some, and the remaining here, sometimes you make ganache, and then you try to remove as much as possible, to clean out as much as possible from the bowl. There will still be some balance inside the bowl. It's okay, and we do not want to waste those lovely chocolate, right? So what do? We can always place the bowl back. Okay, now I'm going to add in some milk. Okay, so I'm going to weigh in 400 grams of milk, about 2 cups. It depends on how thick you want your hot chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to weigh in 400 grams of milk. Right? After that, we're just going to cover it. I'm going to whip up some lovely hot chocolate for our breakfast. Okay, so let's go back to the home screen and set the time to 5 minutes. Now, temperature now comes in also very important because we are dealing with milk. You know, when milk cooks and if you overheat it, you get those layers of milk that will form, right? And it doesn't taste good. You know, it is like, it actually spoils the texture of your milk, okay? So the best temperature to heat milk is actually 85 degrees, okay? And then we're gonna turn it to speed 2. Okay, so now you can melt your chocolate in the first stage, and then after that, you know, boil your milk at the perfect temperature of 85 degrees, all right? And I just want to show you how the strawberry cooks here as you're melting and cooking your hot chocolate. You could actually do this. And you see how it wonderfully cooks the strawberries for you? Okay. After that, what you do is to line a tray over here, which I already have. And then just place your coated strawberries on the tray and let it set. It probably takes about 10 to 15 minutes to set, okay? If you'd like to set it faster, you can actually, after coating them, put them in the fridge and it will harden. Okay, so I'll come back to you. I'll pass the screen back to Sunita, all right?
Okay, welcome back. So it's finished sauteing my chilies and ginger and garlic. And if you can see, it's really beautifully done. All right. So we just go next. And I'm going to add in 200 grams of potatoes, which I have sliced. Okay. And then next is the marinated chicken with all the sauce. So the recipe calls for about 600 grams of chicken. I've got roughly about 720 grams. So it doesn't really matter if it's a little over or under what the recipe calls for. Okay, I'm just going to get all the sauce out. Okay. Next, I'm going to put the lid back on. And now it's going to cook for 13 minutes at 100 degrees. And because we're using cookie dough, it has already automatically gone into the reverse mode. Okay, so it will not cut your chicken. So the Thermomix blade has a sharp side and a blunt side, and the reverse mode will use the blunt side. So it will actually just gently stir your chicken until it is done. All right. So for this step, you can actually leave it and go and be doing something else. So I'm just going to start it off. And the speed we want is what we call the stir speed or the spoon speed, which is the first turn, and you will see the spoon icon, okay? So as Ping mentioned, you melt chocolate at 50 degrees. 60 degrees is amazing for melting gelatin, for your agar-agar or your cheesecakes, right? 70 degrees for making incredible sauces like sabayon. 80 degrees or 75 degrees for your green tea, and 95 degrees for your specialty coffees. Okay, 90 degrees to make your own kaya. You must try making your own kaya once you get your Thermomix. 120 degrees, as we mentioned, is for your sauteing. 160 and 170 are for browning and caramelizing, right? So I am now going to hand this over to Ezrin for the next dish, and we will see you back once this is done. Okay, over to Ezrin now.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Ezrin. Assalamualaikum to my Muslim partners and also selamat berpuasa. Okay, so today I will be making cheese straws. Okay, this is something really easy to make and you can just whip up and get it ready in just less than maybe 15 minutes. Okay, so all you need is some cheddar cheese, okay, plain flour, unsalted butter, 1 egg yolk, and garlic powder, mustard powder, and also salt. Okay, so I will be doing this the manual way. Okay, so manual way, you just have to set the time yourself, temperature if there's any, and also the speed. Okay, so Cookie-Doo will set the time and temperature if there's any. Okay, so first we are going to put the cheddar cheese. So if you are using cheddar cheese, the block one, you can actually grind it in here. Okay, so if you use the block one, you put the cheese inside, you can grate it at 5 seconds and speed 7. But I'm using the shredded one, so I'm just gonna put it all in, okay? So Thermomix, we have a built-in scale. So if you want to weigh this, you can press on the scale button, okay? And then you can pour in 150 grams of cheese, okay? This is cheddar cheese. Okay. So it weighs in 1 gram increment, okay? So it's very precise, especially if you want to bake. Okay, so next we have to add in. So if you want to add the next ingredient, just press the tare button. It will go back to 0. And then you put in 200 grams of plain flour. Okay, so all this, I've already weighed all this, but if I'm not doing this show, I'll just take my bag of flour and just pour it in here. Okay, so you save a lot of time instead of pre-weighing your ingredients. Okay, and next you need, so we go tare again, and then we need 100 grams of unsalted butter. Okay, cut in cubes. Okay, so we have 100. And I just add in all the recipes. You just add in the yolk, 1 yolk. Okay, so usually for baking, if they do not inform, you can use large eggs. Okay, for all baking recipes in Cookie-Doo. I mean for Thermomix. Okay, this is 1.5 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then 1.5 teaspoon of mustard powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, you can use sea salt. I'm using Himalayan. It's okay. Up to you. Okay, and now we are going to use the kneading mode. Okay, so if you are doing this manually, you have to set it yourself by going to the screen. Okay, this is the main screen, right? All you have to do is just swipe to the left and then go to dough. Okay. So dough mode, you just have to set the time and then start. So if you're using Cookie-Doo, they will set this for you. All you have to do is just turn to start. Okay, so manual, you just have to set the time and then to 30 seconds and then just turn to start. Okay, so very simple, right? Just put everything in and just knead for 30 seconds and it's ready to shape. Okay. Okay, so the kneading mode in Thermomix is very special. Okay, so the blade goes 5 times clockwise and 1 time anti-clockwise. So it imitates the real movement of hand kneading. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, so all you have to do is just pour it slowly onto the mat. Okay, because it's like crumbs, and then we just have to just put it together. Okay, so the other way of removing dough, besides, because dough can be quite sticky, right? So you can actually remove the mixing knife. Okay, I will show you. Okay, so the other way is you can do it like this, and you can actually open the bottom here, and the mixing knife will drop, okay, together like that. Okay, especially if you have like sticky dough, right? So it looks like that. Okay, all clean. So when you have dough, if you have sticky dough, just remove it carefully from the mixing knife, okay, because it's quite sharp. So this is how you wash your bowl. Okay, you can remove the blade like that, and then you can wash it thoroughly. Okay, so here, if you see, this is it's called Thermomix. Okay, our Thermomix mat is very versatile. You can use it as your baking sheet. Okay, so you can save money. You don't have to buy a lot of baking sheets. Okay, so you just have to, you can put this in the oven, okay, up to 240 degrees, and it can take even as low as minus 40 degrees. Okay, so you want to make this into about 40. So what's good about this mat is there's also measurements here. We want to get about 40 by 15 centimeters. Okay, so it's going to be a rectangle. Okay, so it depends how you like. If you want it short or you want it long, you can shape it in whichever way you want. Okay. Okay, and just make sure you get a sharp tool like this. Okay, and then just cut it into 1 centimeter, and then you can put it on the baking. So you need 2 trays. Okay, so just put it on the tray. You want it to. So you can just put it on like that. Okay. And then I will just continue for the rest. Okay. So you need about 2 trays. I have another tray at the back. So baking is really, really simple with Thermomix. Okay. I used to have a KitchenAid mixer. Okay, but it's because it's big. I always kept it in the cupboard, okay, in the cabinet. So if you don't see it, most of the time you won't use it. So I didn't really use it, and then I finally sold it after I got my Thermomix, because Thermomix will always be on your kitchen top, and you can just, you can cook with it, you can bake with it. So it's going to be there. So you will keep on using your Thermomix. Okay. So what else you can make is you can make your bread. Okay, you can make your pasta. You can even make our signature mantau. Okay, it's very, very nice. All this is in cookie dough, so it's guided steps. And you can even make your own meatballs and also fish balls, because the ones that you get in the supermarket is full of preservatives, and you don't know which part they use, and the machine that they use to make those meatballs actually not very clean. Okay, so I will pass this back to Olivia to show her, to continue with the presentation. See you later.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So thank you, our chefs who have shared the recipes with us. And now I'd like to share with you some cooking modes. So there's a kettle mode, which replaces your kettle at home. So, but this kettle is very different, because the normal kettle you have at home actually boils water to 100 degrees, okay? But this kettle is special. Okay, so for example, you want to brew your tea at the perfect temperature for green teas, like example, green teas is at 75 degrees. So what you do is you place water into the mixing bowl and you adjust the temperature to 75 degrees. And then after that, when the water reaches that temperature, that set temperature, it will actually cut off, okay? And then, for example, you want to brew your coffee, the perfect temperature is 95 degrees, okay? So the same thing as well, place the water, and then at 95 degrees, it will automatically stop, all right? Okay, and next we have slow cook mode. So for example, you want to braise your meat at a long period of time. So what you can do with our slow cook mode, you can do beef stew, you can do braised lamb shank, you can do braised duck. Okay, and this slow cook mode, you can actually cook for up to 8 hours, and it's on a reverse mode, meaning example, you place in duck or you place in lamb and etc. It will not break the meat into fine pieces because it's on a reverse mode. Okay, and then the next mode we have is fermentation mode. So for example, you want to make your own homemade yogurt, you should actually get Thermomix to make it. And normally what I do is at night, I will place the ingredients in. So we have recipe in Cookie Do, which you can follow step by step, it's guided. And then you can have fresh made homemade yogurt right in the morning when you wake up, okay? So when you get your Thermomix, try out the yogurt recipe. We have a few, we have plain, we have fruits yogurt, and then you can browse around Cookie Do. We have a few recipes that you can explore, making your own homemade yogurt, okay? And next is sous vide. Okay, so what is sous vide? So sous vide is actually a French way of cooking, right? So the sous vide method actually helps to retain the moisture of the meat. Okay, so basically, for example, if you want to sous vide meat like beef, fish, or chicken, you place the meat right inside here. So you can actually use a Ziploc bag, BPA free. You can actually get it from the supermarket. Brands like Ziploc or Glad. You read the label on the box and make sure it is BPA free. Okay? Or you can also use a bag like this, which is called Stasher. So Stasher, you can also purchase it online. So basically, the Stasher bag is good because it's reusable and it's recyclable. So it's made of silicone. So you can actually place the meat inside here, all right, and then seal it up, and then place it inside the mixing bowl. And it's a water bath method. And for example, like when you cook chicken, okay, it actually helps to soften the meat inside, and it's tender and moist. And it's actually one of the best ways to preserve the nutrients, okay, when you cook. So this is very common when you go to a restaurant, okay, Western or French dining, they will have sous vide recipes, okay. And so basically they have machines, the sous vide machines, at the restaurants, and it costs a few thousand for actually a sous vide machine. Okay, so they will have a lot of bags of meat, which is already in the water bath method for long hours. For chicken, it takes about an hour. Okay, so when you go to the restaurant, you patronize the restaurant, and they will ask you, would you like the beef to be well done, medium well, you know, etc. So what they do is they will take the meat out from the sous vide machine and they will sear it, okay, to have the very nice effect. Okay, so now you can save on your sous vide machine, okay, and get a Thermomix because the sous vide mode is built in for you. And you can actually cook for up to 12 hours, okay, so depending on what recipe, okay. So very popular is the 63-degree egg, okay. So if you've not tried the sous vide 63-degree egg, make sure you try that when you get your Thermomix. Okay. So what are the benefits of cooking with Thermomix? Okay, so many benefits, right? You've seen we did, you know, from dessert to mains. Okay, there are a lot of benefits. Okay, I'm sure all of you agree that it's quick and easy. Okay, and everyone can cook because of all the recipes which are built in so easy. Okay, and it's healthy because we're cooking at low temperature, and even at high temperature, it is also healthy because it's at a controlled temperature. Okay, and do you like that it cooks for you? So you do not need to be stirring, you do not need to be standing over the stove and stirring and sweating. And the best thing is the cleaning part. You do not even need to clean your kitchen after cooking. And after cooking, we also have the pre-clean mode that will actually clean thoroughly for you. For example, you cook curry and there's a lot of sauces which is stuck in the bowl. Our pre-clean mode will really clean it properly, okay? Because it will actually detect and actually heat up the water to actually clean thoroughly. So you just need to put in water and a few squirts of detergent, go to the pre-clean mode, and it is done, okay? And then, okay, save space. 30, it replaces 20 appliances all in one compact unit, okay, save space, right? And also goodbye to cooking fumes, okay? No more oil spattering, no more cooking fumes, because we are actually inhaling cooking fumes over time, okay? So now I'd like to show you the result of the pumpkin rice. Okay, let me just show it to you. Okay, so my pumpkin rice is done. Very nice. Okay, so this will be my lunch. So every Saturday, when I do my Zoom cooking session, I'm actually cooking my lunch. Okay, so let me just place everything inside the mixing bowl. So this is a large portion, okay, it's good for 5 people. And you can actually add more rice if you have more people. So just now, I actually cooked 200 grams of rice. So you can actually cook up to 500 grams of rice with the rice cooker mold. So you can cook for more people, okay? And as you can see now, this is the thermal server, which is very convenient. Actually keep the food warm. So this is one of the accessories which is a must-have when you have a Thermomix. Okay, and I'm going to garnish it with a bit of spring onion. So you can actually put like you can actually place fried garlic or shallots as well. Okay, so my dish is ready to serve. Okay, I hope you will try this recipe. It will be shared with you by your advisor. So, okay, thank you so much for joining our cooking show. And now I'll pass to Ping Ping to share with you more details on how to own your Thermomix today.
Hi, I'm back here. And then, you know, my hot chocolate is already done. And my hot chocolate is already done. You can see it here. My daughter came into the kitchen, you know, she's very excited. So she already had her 1 glass with her. But here are the balance of the other 2 glasses. And you could also see that there's a bubble froth on top because at the end, I speed up the speed to speed 4. You know, so it also generates some very nice froth on top. And the strawberry that was coated while you were watching the show, I've actually coated them and I placed them in the fridge. So this is how it looks like, right? It can be a wonderful, lovely, healthy snack for children in the afternoon, like tea time. And you can do this easily at home, and it's like mess-free as well. Everything is in one bowl. And as we were melting chocolate, you know, making our hot chocolate after that, it all happens within the same bowl. And you could see after whipping up the hot chocolate, right, you could actually get a lot of the extra ganache out into the milk, and you have a lot less wastage, and it's a lot easier to clean now. Now to clean it, I can just put in water, engage the pre-clean mode to do the cleaning for me, which I will show you later on, okay? So for now, you know, when you see the Thermomix, you understand now why there are so many users with the Thermomix. It is indeed a splendid product to have at home, and it helps you with your daily cooking, whether it's for your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, or even supper. But the most important thing is you are confident to try all these recipes, and it can be easily accessible to you on the fingertips because we have it on the cookie dough as well. If you have no idea on how to do it, just access your cookie dough. Okay, so how do you start to use the Thermomix? How do you get the Thermomix? Okay, we have 2 choices for you. Either you go for full payment or installment plan. So the price of the Thermomix is 6,988. It is very, very affordable. If you're going for installment, we have up to 24 months interest-free. It works out to only about 290 ringgit a month, right? And if you go on a daily basis, it's only 9 ringgit a day. Now, if you look at our Malaysian market, what can we get for 9 ringgit a day when we walk out of the house with 9 ringgit a day in the pocket? What can we get? Even if we walk into economy rice shop, right? We need to be very careful on what we pay. Definitely, most of the time, it exceeds like 10 ringgit or more, right? And we're talking about something that you could use for your entire family, making 3 to 5 meals a day for 7 days of healthy, happy meals, 365 days a year, Okay, so remember now as well, because of the Raya that is coming and Mother's Day celebration that's coming, you know, the Thermomix also comes with special purchase and hostess gift. So what is the current promotion? It comes with this plate cover, all right, which is in this packaging. When you receive your Thermomix, right, these are your hostess gift, okay? So it comes with the plate cover. Plate cover, it is great for braising your recipes for long hours. For example, if you want to braise like beef or braised duck, you know, this kind of food, if you braise it for long hours, it becomes very tasty and the meat becomes like really soft. You can also make like pull apart meat, okay? So the purpose of the blade cover is to cover the blade as it's cooking for you for up to 8 hours. Okay, as it's cooking your wonderful meals for you, it protects the meat and the ingredients from being cut by the blade because as it softens, it breaks up easily. Okay, so the blade cover helps to prevent the ingredients from getting cut by the blade. Right, so this is how it looks like, and you just need to place it on top of the blade. Okay, so this is the first gift. Your purchase and hosting will be 2 gifts: the blade cover and the thermomat. You saw how Ashwin used the thermomat for baking, all right? It is great, and you could line your tabletop without worrying about cleaning up after that, right? Because all you need to do is to remove your thermomat and you could immediately wash it in the sink, as well as working on the thermomat is a lot easier than any other surface because it is non-stick. So while you're making bread, making bun, shaping, you know, shaping your cookies, right? It makes it very easy for you. And the best thing is the thermomat as well can go into the oven. It bakes, it can bake with it. You can also put it in the fridge or the freezer with the thermomat. Right? So it comes with 2 gifts, purchase and hosting. What do we mean by purchase and hosting? After you purchase, just get 3 to 6 friends to come on to our cooking show and you're able to claim your gifts. All right. At the same time, remember, when you get the Thermomix, it also comes with the basic cookbook. Now, the basic cookbook, you will have 2 choices. You can opt for English version or Chinese version. Okay, so do let your advisor know which version is your preference, and we will be able to choose the right option for you to be delivered to your doorstep. After getting your Thermomix, there is also an unboxing service, personalized unboxing service. Now, for example, if you like what you see today, and you say, hey, I think I want to start my first baking recipe, you can suggest to your advisor and say, I like to bake my first cake or my first bread, or maybe like cheese sticks that Ashwin did today. And we will guide you in preparing the right ingredients. And it will be you then during the unboxing, you will have your personal hands-on in creating these recipes yourself with the guidance of your advisor. All right, we want to get you started confidently and continue to cook for your family. Okay, so moving on forwards, after you've used your Thermomix, you really love it, you feel that it's a wonderful product to share with your friends and families, you know, you can also consider our partner program. A partner program whereby when you step on it, you can earn your second Thermomix for free. If you're keen into that in our career program, whether you are looking at it for full-time basis or a part-time basis, right? It is flexible. You work at your own pace. Look up to your advisor to get further details on the partner program. Okay, so without further ado, I'm sure you're excited to see how the other recipes turn out, okay? So I'm going to move the screen to Sunita, and then after that to Esri, and they will show you the end result of their cooking, all right? So we move on to Sunita.
Okay, my chicken is done and it looks amazing. Let me just bring it closer for you to have a look. So you can see it looks really, really delicious and I can't wait to dig into it. It's so easy because all I had to do was put everything in and then just leave it and my Thermomix did the rest. Okay, so please do put in your orders for your Thermomix because nothing beats cooking. Nothing makes it easier than your Thermomix. All right, so over to Ezrin.
Okay, hi everyone. It's still very, very hot and fresh out of the oven. So it only takes 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes to bake this. Okay, so if you have Nigella seeds, the black seeds, you can just put some on top. Okay, so look at this. Okay, my son has tried this before. Yesterday, I made a batch yesterday. He said it's really nice. It's almost gone. Okay, so I have another batch in the oven. So you need to have 2 trays. Okay, so very easy and fast and delicious. So make sure you try this cheese straws recipe. Okay, and you want to get your Thermomix because you want to get that very versatile Thermomix. So useful. You will save money. You don't need to get a lot of baking sheets anymore, and you can use it to proof. And yeah, it's really, really high quality silicone mat. Okay, so I'll pass back to Ping Ping, and selamat berpuasa to all Muslims. Thank you. See you next week, inshallah.
Okay, so we hope that you have learned something from today for those users out there. We hope that you learned some new functions, ways to use it better. But most importantly, for new viewers today, we hope that we've given you, enough information. We wish that you will get your hands on your Thermomix and start cooking as happy as all of us have been using for like 10 years or more. And we wish all of you selamat berbuka puasa later on today. And we wish to see you also next week again. All right, so do look out to our invites and get more friends and gather with us for a wonderful cooking morning session. Okay, till next time, stay safe and we will see you next round. Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye,
Have a great
everyone.
weekend. Selamat berpuasa. Bye.
Good job.